Welcome to the Gear Slum, your one-stop shop for all things guitar culture nonsense. I'm Aaron.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Cole.
I'm Cole. And I'm Cole.
We slum it hard so you don't have to.
I'm Cole.
Guys,
Aaron,
I want to talk
you're not
about
Cole.
I want
You
to talk
imposter.
about Coke for a second.
Okay.
Ooh,
Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola.
Oh,
So are you aware of the I don't know if it's like a myth or like an old wives' tale or an urban legend, but that like the word on the street, I guess, that Coke from McDonald's tastes better than other places?
Yeah,
Yes.
it does.
All right. And
Does.
I don't dispute that. So I want to
Good.
talk about this for a second.
we are in agreement.
So there's been like,
He didn't say he agreed. He's just saying he doesn't dispute it.
no, I agree.
Oh.
I think it does taste better.
Okay.
But I've seen several people online, especially on TikTok. And some of these are people that like work there or like claim to have worked there before. And they're like, this is why the Coke at McDonald's tastes better. McDonald's. I think I said McDonald. This is why
McDonald's.
the Coke at McDonald's tastes better than other places. And they're like, first of all, while all the other sodas are kept in like cardboard boxes with plastic bags inside, the Coke syrup is held in metal tanks. And I think that's
There's
true.
no way that's true. Like
That
the-
was
then
not
they show a
true at the
picture.
McDonald's.
Then they show
the
a picture of it.
maintenance. That's
I don't
they're-
know. They say it's like delivered in it's like kegs basically. All right. Whether or not that's true, I'll accept that it's not true. I don't really care.
but also the Sprite McDonald's tastes better too. Like
Yeah. I mean, maybe. And so then they're like, well, and also like the water at McDonald's is really good. So like it's a good water.
they apparently filter it in certain ways.
And I'm like, okay. And then they're like, and the ice at McDonald's is really good. And they're like, all this stuff adds up to like making it better. And then they're like, oh, and also, and this is always like a throwaway. And they're like, yeah, also they put more syrup in their Coke than like other places do. And I'm like, okay, that's the reason why it tastes better. All that other stuff is
Yeah,
irrelevant. You're like hyping up this stupid stuff about like the water and the metal
that's
tanks and
hilarious.
refrigerator. It's like,
That's so
no, it
good.
tastes better because there's more syrup in it. What are
Yeah.
you talking about? Are you crazy?
That's so funny.
It's idiotic. Anyway, I've been holding that in for a long time.
Oh, apparently they pre-chill the syrup,
Yeah, that's what they say.
which is interesting. Dude, I don't know if you've ever I don't think this is a new thing, but like I don't think I know fountain drinks are not a big deal in many places like they are in Utah. But once in a while I've encountered gas stations where they don't where the carbonated water isn't chilled.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm
weird.
assuming it's because it's like broken or something.
Yeah.
And holy crap, it is like undrinkable. Because by the time it cools down
It's
from
just,
the
like,
ice, it's like watered down and everything,
Yeah,
you know?
dude, it has to be cold.
Yeah. But I feel like that used to be like a selling point of some places. But
Yeah.
maybe it's the syrup I was thinking.
But I bet the
of.
syrup being cold, like, only matters for the same reason, just because it makes the drink colder, so it takes
Yeah,
less
right
to
off the
cool it, so it
bat.
doesn't water down. But
They pre-chill the water going into the machine, so that makes sense.
yeah, it's
Apparently
definitely
they
the
do
syrup.
deliver it. Apparently they do deliver it in stainless steel.
But Philly worked at a McDonald's, he said back in the day.
Yeah. And it
Yeah,
was.
remember, didn't you like poop your pants or something?
I did
You got a poopy
Okay.
pants?
not.
You do
Not in the soda.
You were, you were inside the soda. You were in the soda tank.
No.
like in Strange Brew.
no.
It's
I
a little strange, brew. That's my South African impression.
Brew.
Strange, brew.
I remember it was syrup. The syrup was in bags in cardboard boxes.
Yeah, that's like normal.
But I
These
have a
places
feeling
are claiming that the Coca-Cola is different from the.
this
other
is like a
sodas.
newer. Oh, does this only? So this is all saying Coca-Cola, but I feel like the Diet Coke tastes better there too.
Well, it's all the same company, right?
Yeah, every drink this is the same company. They're all Coca-Cola.
Every
Yeah.
drink.
But everything I'm seeing is talking about Coca-Cola specifically and not Diet Coke.
Yeah, the classic.
Yeah, I feel like that has become this thing that people think is like, I don't know. I know this is like one of the annoying parts of my personality, but just it's become one of those things that people say to try and be interesting, and it's just not interesting.
That Coke's better at McDonald's.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I just don't.
it's like
I just don't care.
shut up. You're dumb.
It's like when people talk about, oh, I hate the word moist, or I
First
hate,
of
you know,
all,
I
Coke
can't
is
eat
better
pineapple on
at
pizza.
Del Taco than it is at McDonald's. Del
Where-
Taco has the best fountain
Interesting.
drinks of any fast food restaurant I've ever been to.
I have a Del Taco very close to my house,
The cherry
but I don't
Coke
get drinks there very
at
often.
Del Taco is fantastic.
So here's the thing, Del
They
Taco
also have really good ice.
got a good ice. Is
It's
that
not
a
like
South,
it's that
is that
old
your South
school ice
African accent
where
again
it's
as well?
like, so you know how McDonald's has like the big like half moon kind of
Yep.
things. So this one has the old like little, they're like little bricks. They are kind of like chiclet teeth kind of
Yep,
thing.
totally. I
It's
love
got
that.
ice. It's so good.
And in fact, okay, so I don't know if this is a thing. See, there are so many aspects of Mormon culture that exist because we don't, drink or whatever.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this is one of them, but like, are pebble ice machines a thing
Yeah.
for you guys?
I was just gonna bring that up. Like, people love it so much that you can purchase them for your home.
So my brother actually bought one like from an old folks home or a hospital or something. So it's like this industrial strength.
Whoa.
But I don't understand, like, and I've asked him this, like, is it just for people who like to eat ice? By the
Well-
way, Aaron, do you like to eat ice?
I don't.
Is that
there's gonna be a couple different things with it, right? Like, it's gonna be surface area.
yeah? So
Um,
in theory, it chills your drink.
Without
Quicker.
diluting. Also,
It still dilutes it though.
No, it's
but
gonna
it should be
dilute
like
more.
less. It should be less dilution because
More.
it should be less.
no,
more.
because all like the way that ice cools down your drink
I
is
know.
by melting the ice.
But if the ice is in direct contact with the higher percentage of the beverage,
Oh,
It could, in
that's a
theory,
good point, Cole.
dilute less but more widespread. So it could reach more points with less dilution,
More points of contact.
potentially. I don't know if that's true, but all I know is when I was in high school, there was this place called the Taco Shop in town, and we would go there for lunch sometimes. And the selling point was it had that crushed pebble ice.
Yeah.
And what you would do is you put your thumb over the top of the straw and you like crush it, like jam it in, like you're stabbing the ice. And then the straw fills itself up with ice. And then you can blow that ice at people in class
See that I accept.
Can you
that
do that
as a-
again, Aaron?
like this.
How is it? What is it? What does it do?
Put your thumb on it and you go like this.
Yeah.
So okay, so I accept that as like a valid. I think if the argument is that like the ice is better than just like ice out of your fridge and there's more of it and stuff, like I buy that, but I don't get why in a drink somehow pebble ice is supposed to be superior. Because I don't accept the fact that it would dilute it less because you're still melting the same amount of ice. It's just
I
coming
think
from,
it has
it's
to
just
do
quicker.
with like whether
It
or
would
not you
cool it
eat
down
the
quicker.
ice. If you eat the ice, then it makes a difference.
That's what I think. Okay, but here's one thing, and I was literally just noticing this today as I was drinking a drink that had pebble ice in it, and this always annoys me, is that it clogs the bottom of your straw.
Yeah, then you spit that clog out at your friends.
No. I'm just saying, like, you're drinking a large drink, you're not gonna like pull it out, but it basically like stops you from being able to drink.
Yeah,
You have to like move it around and get it unstuck, and that's like
it's like when you get
objectively a
cherry
downside.
limeade, and then the cherry gets stuck at the bottom of your straw, and you're like,
Yeah.
this sucks.
So that annoys me. So I actually prefer, in fact, that's like one benefit of the Del Taco ice is it doesn't do that, but it also, chills your drink quickly, I guess.
Yeah, it's like an in between.
So on the trip I was on this last recently, we had a tour director. Are you laughing at the video?
Yeah.
It's pretty great. I like that now in Messenger it just auto plays videos like TikTok does.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it just plays it. It just keeps playing it. Like
yeah, just over and over.
Aaron making that wonderful motion.
Aaron, J&O.
No, he's crushing ice. Cole,
Oh, that's right.
don't.
He's crushing it pretty hard.
Crushed ice.
So you had a trip, something.
So the director
manager.
of our tour, the tour manager, she has been living in Italy
Wait,
for the last.
she?
Yeah,
The
tour
manager was a
You
woman?
had a woman in charge of the entire trip?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like meals and like bedding and stuff like that, so it makes sense.
Right, and she's basically everyone's mom.
Oh, racist. I mean,
Yeah.
sexist.
So anyway,
Uh-huh.
she has been
He's
living in
also Mexican.
Italy for like the last 7 years, but she grew up on the East Coast of the Americas.
Of these great
And-
United States.
Like
Yes.
in Argentina?
And
I mean,
so here's the
Brazil?
thing.
Wait,
I-
Argentina or Brazil?
One of the kids at the first
In
night
Paraguay?
at dinner, one of the kids
Uruguay.
says,
In Uruguay?
"Do we get shut up and listen?"
In Costa Rica?
One of the kids.
I'm listening.
So one of the kids says, "Hey, so excuse me, are the drinks free refills?"
In Tierra del Fuego?
And she goes, "No." And she said it like kind of like that.
Dang.
And then later she came up to me and she goes, "Is that a thing where you guys are from?" And
That's
I go,
such bull crap. Like she
What?
grew up in the East Coast.
and she goes, free reef. And I go, she's like just a couple years younger than me.
Yeah, yeah.
She says, I go, yeah. And she goes, where? And I go, and I looked at Kathy. I was like,
Literally
everywhere.
everywhere.
yeah, every restaurant, like with the
Like,
exception
it's rare
of
that
maybe,
there's not.
yeah, of maybe some
It's
like
Like
ethnic
little mom
food
and
places.
little mom and pop stores
Yeah.
are like 50 cents
Where
for a
they're selling
refill or
cans.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the dead giveaway. If they
Well,
give
yeah,
you,
there's
if they put a
cans.
can on your in front of you, then you know it's like not. But
That's
If
when
it's
you
a
know the
fountain
food's
drink-
going to be authentic, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
but if it's a fountain drink, it's almost always
It's-
free refills.
Unless
And
it's just
she
like
was
a
like-
weird, like a baseball game, like a
Yeah,
Right,
some
right,
she
weird
was like-
scenario like that.
she was like, really?
It's
And
been
we
that
were
way
kinda
for
like-
so long, though.
My
Yeah,
entire life.
Yeah,
and she said
Like, she-
said not on the East Coast, and then I was like, she goes, "Is this just a California thing?" And I go, "No, it's not. I was just in Utah, and it was like every place in Utah."
It's everywhere, everywhere.
Where was she
Nantucket.
from on the East Coast?
Psychopath.
Nantucket, that's where she's from.
She lived on the island of Nantucket. She's a townie.
Was she in that show Wings?
Yeah, dude. She probably was.
I
Wait,
don't-
is she the girl from Men in Tights?
We were
Probably
just
not.
talking about.
Probably not.
We did archery at boys camp,
Uh-huh.
and it was like the bishop was there too,
Uh-huh.
and I got a bullseye and then hit my arrow with that same,
No
Heck
way.
the
yeah.
one that was in the bullseye. And he goes,
Did you split
Robin
the arrow?
split his arrow in twine,
Did you split it?
which is like the best line from Men in Tights. No, I didn't split it, but I did it. They're like right next to each other in it. The one hit the other one. I like looked behind me after I shot it, and only one person saw it, but he was like, looking at me like, "Ah." It's one of the kids that lives next door to me. He was like, I saw that.
That's amazing. I'm very proud of you.
But anyways, so Men in Tights, that's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Free refills. That's like when somebody goes on study abroad and then comes back and like pretend, oh, what was the word in English for that?
Yeah. I had a had a friend when we were in like like after high school, there was this kid who like moved out of town for like a few months, and he came back, and we're like, oh, we're gonna like run to Walmart real quick, and he's like, oh, okay, you got to tell me how to get there. I'm like, what? you, you've been gone for like 6 months. What are you talking about?
It'd be like if you went
just
away to
forgot
college
where
and
everything is.
couldn't remember where you lived.
Also,
so
like we
annoying.
live in a small town. There's like one main road that goes everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. Like just drive down the road that has stoplights, and you'll find it.
Yeah. What an idiot, Johnny. What a dork.
That makes me want to like Google. I mean, Nantucket is like a weird. Isn't that like a tourist town?
I thought so.
Yeah, it's like an island off of Boston, right?
Yeah, so I could
Roadmap.
see living on an island. Maybe that is like a thing unique to Nantucket, where it was less common to have free refills. Because I mean, it's the same way in like Hawaii, or just because.
Oh, you're saying it's a function of like a tourist town is going to be like, nope, you got to pay for that.
No, I'm saying because it's an island. Is Nantucket an island?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like because everything has to come in on a boat, so
But I'm
everything's
sure-
more expensive.
Oh,
That makes sense. Yeah, maybe she's never
Because
left
honestly,
the
most
island
of
of
the
Nantucket.
most of the restaurants in Hawaii did not have free refills. Now that I think about it, or they had like you get one free refill.
Yeah, when I was
And
in
then the
Australia,
waiters-
it was like they would put like one ice cube and like it was like 8-ounce soda and there were no refills, and like, wait, what is happening?
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't really drink when we eat.
The
It's
most
like,
annoying
what do you
thing
mean
was
you don't drink when you eat? what? Like, will you just eat dry? It's so weird.
Is raw dog your food?
They eat dry down under, I guess.
Kathy's first job was at a like the snack bar of a roller rink,
Nice.
and the manager would be like there was like a mark on the cup that like a logo of some like basic logo or whatever, and he would get super pissed off if the people like filling drinks, if they didn't fill the ice up to that line. And it was
Because they were getting
basically
too
like
much soda or something.
yeah, exactly. Because he knew that like ice was cheaper than soda, and so he was like,
Yeah.
"You have to like," and he wanted them. It was like so much. It was like more
That's
than
such a
3/4 of the
dumb-
way.
That's
I know.
such a dumb thing. But also like because soda isn't that you're talking about
It's
like
not that
pennies.
expensive. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just a control thing,
And it's like, okay, are you really gonna piss off like, every 1 in 4 customers when they're like,
Seriously.
I
Why'd you
don't
give me
have,
so much freaking ice.
yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry, it's the policy of the.
That's the worst at drive-throughs, when you get a drink through a drive-through
Oh yeah.
and they put so much ice in it, and it's like, well, it's not like I get a refill now.
right. Or
Yeah,
in
Drinks
Nantucket,
should be
any
cheaper through the
anytime
drive-through or like to go.
they
Drinks
should.
be.
Yeah.
No,
You should get,
it's like if
25
you're-
cents off or something.
Yeah, if you're staying there, it's like, okay, it's a given that I'm going to get, like, it should be expected that you get refills.
Yeah.
If you're leaving, it should not cost the same, because I do not have the opportunity to. This is a one-time
Yeah.
drink.
It is a
When
weird
I
thing because like the refill is like it's not like you're gonna buy more food, so they don't really have like incentive to keep you there. Like
Right.
they would rather get you out than keep you in the building.
Totally.
Oh, the funny thing is, so the tour director, like, it was like 2 days later after we had this conversation, she goes, "Okay, so Phil, isn't it the case then? Like, why would you have different size drinks if it's just drink as much as you want?"
Yep.
And I
Yep.
go, "Well, yeah, some people get giant cups anyway." And she's like, "Why?"
I mean, you don't. I mean,
To
you don't.
go.
You're not gonna like stay in the place for like you're talking about different scenarios here. There's like fast food or like gas station drinks.
That's true.
you're
The
taking
places
with
that
you.
have
Like,
that have different sizes,
s-
you're usually not hanging around.
Yeah, a sit down
Oh, yeah,
restaurant
yeah.
doesn't have different sizes.
Totally,
Yeah, that's
totally.
true.
But she was thinking like, it was bugging her, and then she came back to it like days
Yeah.
later. She's like, "So wait.
Yeah. But that's just her like privileged upbringing.
She's
being-
like, wait, so
growing up in Nantucket, dude.
you put the straw into the drink
Yeah, that's so lame.
or next to the drink? How does food work? What
What's the word for refill again?
Yeah. It's surprised that the girl who grew up on Nantucket and has lived in Italy the last 8 years isn't like in touch with the everyman.
Exactly.
scenarios.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Yeah, us every man with our free refill drinks. When I think of every man, I think of free refills.
I mean, you do think of somebody going to a gas station and getting a soda or something.
Yeah,
That's true.
Phil. Or
Okay.
eating fast food because they can't afford to go to fancy restaurants on Nantucket.
So
Fish
Maverick
shop.
Maverick is like one of the popular. I don't think they have them in California. They probably do in like.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Top Gun Maverick.
I mean, they might.
I haven't
in
seen it yet.
Sacramento. They have them in like Reno. I'm pretty sure. They're based in Utah though. But at any rate, they're like these amazing gas stations, and they have two big fountain machines, and one of them has Pebble Ice, and one of them has like the Half Moon, old school ice, And I always get that kind of ice instead of the Pebble
Dude,
Ice.
I think I went to one of those when we drove from Phoenix to the Grand Canyon to what's that
Yeah,
town? Flagstaff.
Probably. Yeah.
We drove through and they had it was like a wall of fountain drinks.
Yeah.
They're literally like probably 30 or 40 different.
I mean, to be
faucets.
fair, that's how a
Like-
lot of gas stations are in Utah.
I was like, whoa. This
Yes,
is
there's a good chance that was
amazing.
Maverick.
That's you're
And
telling me.
they also have like a huge. They'll have like 10 gas pumps or 20 gas pumps or whatever, and the entire thing is has like a roof over it, and the
Uh-huh.
underside of it is painted light blue to look like the sky. So it's like you're
Whoa.
outdoors or whatever. Their tagline is "Adventure's first stop." So it's like before you go do all these amazing adventures, you go there and
Yeah.
buy
That's cool.
Little Debbie snacks or whatever.
Dang, gas is only $4.36 at Maverick in Holbrook, Arizona. What are gas prices near you, Cole?
Weirdly, if you look up, like, this has been a hot topic for the last couple weeks because the gas prices are dropping in every state except Utah.
Oh, weird.
So they're like $5-ish.
Dang, we're like down to like, whoa. I'm just Googling this right now. Apparently, there's several places. Oh, no, never mind. I was like, that's Lakewood, Washington. It's like, there's places that are under 5, but that's a different state. Around here, it's like around 550 now. But
Okay.
Around
it's gone
here.
down like $1.
Yeah.
It was like damn near $7 a gallon.
Yeah, thanks, Obama.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Freaking
Thanks, Joe Biden.
Biden.
Thanks, Sleepy Joe.
He's freaking can't even ride a
Thanks,
bike
Brandon.
without falling over. Probably made our gas prices too high.
Yeah.
You think he just fell asleep and like accidentally pressed a button or something?
I think he fell asleep on his bike, and that's why he fell over. He fell
Oh,
asleep
yeah.
trying to dismount.
Or maybe he was trying to dismount while he was trying to like say a difficult word, and so he was stuttering, and then his body stuttered too.
He's like, listen here, Jack. Ah! And then he fell. What a fool. I'm looking forward to the days when we can not be embarrassed by our president again. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Obama was not embarrassing.
Yeah,
Obama.
I know.
That was what, 6 years ago? Feels like
Yeah.
eternity.
It does feel like a really long time ago. Like and I'm sure we have plenty of listeners who are like, "Oh, I hate Obama so much."
You can hate Obama as much as you want, but he was
He
not
wasn't
embarrassing.
embarrassing.
He was not
Yeah.
embarrassing, right? He
Trump,
didn't do.
embarrassing. Joe Biden, embarrassing.
W
didn't
was a tiny bit embarrassing, but
Oh, he
It-
was no.
he was
It's
he was
funny.
also
Embarrassing, yeah.
he was also endearing though, in a way
The-
that
Yeah.
Joe Biden isn't.
He wasn't an asshole like Trump. He was like a nice idiot.
I think that
I mean, obviously a war criminal for sure, but
no. I see. I think like
That's you
but
know?
nice.
I
Who isn't?
I think that W
That's
was
fair.
actually kind of similar to Biden in a lot of ways. I know, like,
totally.
Yeah, except
people
Biden's
are-
just older.
But it's
Biden's
also a
older-
different time. Like
Yeah,
back then,
true,
I think
true.
a lot of people were looking for reasons to like. Well, especially with 9/11 and everything. Like you wanted reasons to like the president, and now like everybody wants a reason to hate the president.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
George W. Bush wasn't on TikTok or whatever, so it's like
Yeah,
Right,
Can
but
you
like-
imagine if he
you
was
didn't
though?
see everything.
but so like you could probably look it up right now. There were like people published books of like all the quotes of
Yeah.
George W. Bush saying words wrong or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, look, he's such an idiot. And it's
Yeah.
like, man, I really wish, like, it would be so awesome to have a president that just says words wrong every once in a while. Like, that's the biggest deal.
Exactly.
I mean,
Did you see
Or
that
that, like,
movie, the
wore
Oliver
a bike
Stone
helmet.
movie, The W, with Josh Brolin?
no, I didn't want to see it enough to like pay for it, and I haven't seen it. On
I
the
watched
streaming
that
service.
movie in a theater. That is so weird.
because
I
you're a
think-
freaking liberal.
No, here's the thing though. Like my wife and I went with, I think, with her grandparents who are like very conservative. I think they were like fans of W, of George W. Bush. So
oh, they're like, yeah, this is gonna be
like
good.
it was their idea to go see it. I'm like, all right, and they kind of liked it. I think. I mean, it definitely like has a point of view, but it's not like hardcore.
yeah,
Like
it's not like a smear
anti-
piece or something.
yeah.
So is it worth watching?
I mean, definitely now. If you don't have to pay for it, or like if you can get it really cheap, I would watch it. It's very Oliver Stone, so it's like weird in the way that Oliver Stone.
All of whose
movies are
stone?
weird. That's good.
So
good.
guys, I went to boys camp for the last 3 days
boys.
with 14 young men who are like 12 to 14 years old. And it
Uh-huh.
was it's so the church used to be like affiliated with Boy Scouts of America. So like scouting was, the Great Salt Lake Council was the biggest Boy Scout council in the world by far. Wasn't even close,
Right.
and they're no longer, so that has dropped a lot. So a lot of these camps that used to be only affiliated with Boy Scouts are now like, now we can just have youth groups come or whatever. And it's so interesting to see, like, one of the things, like the first night we were there, they did a flag retirement, where they burn a flag.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yeah, we're burning a flag. And then they're like, yeah, but it's respectful. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess.
So like,
cool.
so we don't piss on it to put it out.
Yeah, exactly. But it was so funny because I texted my wife at one point and was like, I could do without some of the Christian nationalism or something like that. And then I was like, no, I'm just joking. It's not actually that bad. But then it did get kind of bad. Like it was just, they were like, can we have anyone who is, active duty in the military, or what did they say? Like
Duty.
any EMTs? I don't know. They kind of cast a pretty broad net.
First responders.
First responders, yeah, that's what it was. And only one person stood up, and it was like one of the guys who the whole time we were there like didn't participate in anything and was just like, one of the lamer adults that was there. He wasn't in our group, but and so then after, and they do this whole flag ceremony, and it's all about how great the United States is and all this stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then at the end they're like, and now we can all please file out this direction, and you'll have a chance to shake hands with all the service members. And so all the camp counselors who are like 16 to 18 years old, it's like any non-scout summer camp, I guess.
Yeah.
These like teenagers who are like criminally underpaid and work 20 hours a day or something like that. They're all like lined up, like with their hands over their hearts, basically making like a tunnel of a walkway of people. They're lining the walkway to go shake hands with this one service member who's just like, wearing cargo shorts and flip flops and a Punisher t-shirt, of course, because that's his whole personality is, I served in the military.
And everyone has to say thank you for your service.
I didn't say thank you for your service. I mean,
Like,
no, like most people weren't saying it. They were just like shaking his hand or whatever.
yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. It's
Thanks,
funny.
Jimmy.
Like, I don't remember being like into that stuff when I was a kid, but it just like, I feel so differently about it now than I used to, you know, that it's, I don't know. It's pretty cringy.
Cringy.
But
have you heard Bill Burr? He has a bit about first responders and how it's like how they're not actually the first responder because someone had to call them. He's
oh
like,
no.
Yeah.
the person who called 911 is the first responder.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What a funny guy. What a funny guy.
He
As
is.
Bill Burr.
He's in The Mandalorian, you know?
I did know that. Thank you.
The Manda.
Oh, that was him? I couldn't tell from his voice and the way he talked.
And
All the
the
stuff
zero
he
makeup
said.
on his face.
Himself.
The only character with no makeup on his face.
That was like his actual character's name.
His
It's
character's
like,
name was
oh,
Bill
this
Burr.
is Qui-Gon Jinn, and this is Bill Burr.
Bill Burr. It was Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr Space Smasher.
Bill Burr's
But he was like, it turns out, hey, a stand-up comedian, turns out they can be pretty entertaining. An MMA star, not so much.
Not so much, yeah.
So,
Not so much.
Not so much. So, okay, should I tell that that thing that I overheard my son say?
Yes.
Yes, excuse me.
Because-
1 million times yes.
Okay, so the whole part of what's interesting too is like my upbringing at the same age as these boys, I did a lot of camping and stuff like that, but because of COVID, a lot of them haven't camped a ton, and so you know, this is like fun. They get away from their parents, they eat a whole bunch of junk food and go, you know, do kayaks and canoes and all the other stuff. And then they stay up super late. So there was a group of them sitting right outside of my tent as I was like falling asleep the first night. And it was my son and two of his friends. And they were talking about, they all have like watches. I think they all have Apple Watches that have like data so they can text each other and stuff. And so they're always like, they get so into the weeds of, you know, like when you first got like a calculator, you would just like try to do everything you could on the calculator because it was the only like gadget you owned or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like every possible feature. So they were like talking about contacts in the phone because, you know, oh, and they were also like obsessed with they weren't obsessed with trying to get girls' numbers, but they were obsessed with the idea of trying to get girls' numbers, I guess.
Right.
The
fact
they
that
didn't
that it's,
actually.
like
yeah.
if we had a girl,
One of the boys there got her.
Yeah.
brave enough to talk to her.
Yeah.
And if she liked us and she gave us her number, this is where we would put it.
One
This
of the
is how we
girls
would document.
One of the guys got a girl's number, and we found out after the fact that he said that he asked for the number and said it's for one of my friends. So it like totally invalidated that one
Oh,
anyways.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
So they're talking about sharing a contact, and my son was like, and the contact was so tiny. It was like 20 kilobytes or something like that. And they were just like, you know, excited about the fact that they were able to share this piece of data that was so small. And then his friend said, do you know what else is tiny? And then my son, without missing a beat. Okay, first of all, I should say my son is like the most innocent. Like, he's always like, he'll scowl at me if I swear or stuff like that, you know. Like it's not just an act or whatever, but his friend says, you know what else is tiny? And my son replied immediately, your wiener.
So
And I was like trying not to laugh because they're like 5 feet away from me, and I'm in
Yeah.
my tent, you know.
Oh, so
Holy
good.
crap. So good, dude. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing comeback.
Heck yeah, dude.
He just turned 14, just to give everyone some context.
what
There.
what was tiny though? What else was he talking about?
The contact, there was only 20 kilobytes or
But
whatever.
he said, you know what else is tiny?
I don't know. That's
Or
a
was
good
he
question. I think
also- was he
my
like
son's joke.
was he like serving up the softball?
No, I don't think so. I think my son's joke just landed
just totally
so hard that it just derailed the conversation, you know?
Yeah.
Just like an atomic bomb.
They all
dropped
forgot.
on
They
him.
literally forgot half
What
of
they
their
do.
thoughts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what comedy's for, man.
Yeah, dude. And then like they're all obsessed. So I took one
That's
of my
why it sucks that everyone's trying to cancel comedy now. Like, come on.
I know.
dude, everyone is.
It's like
Everybody is.
you can't even tell a joke anymore.
You can't even tell jokes anymore. Like Norm
Yeah.
Macdonald, he you know, he wouldn't be able to.
It's like Bill
Straight to
Cosby.
jail.
Like, why can't Bill Cosby tell jokes anymore?
Yeah,
you know?
or like Louis
Exactly.
C.K. It's like he can't
Yeah,
even tell jokes
like let
anymore.
him tell jokes. They're funny.
It's
Louis-
funny, guys.
Louis C.K. Is there
Louis C?
something there?
Louis C.K.
Could you do like a novelty act where you're like a Hispanic Louis C.K. and it's Louis C.K.?
I think he's from Mexico,
He's
or like his
What
family
is it?
is. Or
His
something. He's
family's
like
from-
German and Mexican.
well, yeah, he's like basic. It's basically like, you know, his parents
Yeah,
are
his family
his
is
grandparents
Nazis.
are Nazis.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Have you guys?
'Cause I don't think it's Mexican. I think it's like Argentinian or something like that.
Oh,
Now I
is
gotta
it-
go look it up.
was
Have you guys seen
was
this-
his passport like protested by the Shoah Foundation?
Yeah, exactly.
Have
Maybe
you
it
guys
is
seen
Mexican.
the what's the guy's name? Segura.
Tom Segura.
Tom Segura. Have you seen
Segura?
the bit that he does about his last name?
Yeah,
I don't know why. It makes me laugh. I've seen it. Like,
Segura.
yeah, yeah.
he's like everything is Japanese if you say it like that. It sounds
Yeah, he
Japanese
goes-
when you say it.
He goes,
that
"Hey,
way."
are you Japanese?" And he goes, "No." And he goes, "But your last name's Segura." And he goes, yeah." And he goes, "Segura." And he goes, "It sounds Japanese to me." Well, yeah, because you're saying it like that.
Okay, so it's actually the other way around, and we're gonna feel bad for our jokes now. Oh no, wait, let's see here. His father
I'm
is
not going to
Mexican.
feel bad.
His father is Mexican and Hungarian Jewish descent.
Okay.
He had immigrated from Hungary to Mexico,
Oh, we were.
and to appease his Mexican
exactly
wife, they
wrong.
raised their children in the Catholic faith.
To appease.
CK's mother is an American with a Catholic with Irish ancestry. Interesting.
But he's still a dirtbag. So I don't care
Yeah.
what nationality he is.
But also, like, he just put out a special not too long ago. that
Are we
was
supposed to
really
like it
popular.
now?
No, I'm just saying that, like, this idea that, I don't know, it's like cancel culture doesn't exist.
He's not actually canceled. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, not at all.
he's not on like he doesn't have his show and the same cachet as he had
okay.
before. But
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I get the extremes, like, oh, cancel culture, blah blah blah, and then like, oh, cancel culture doesn't exist. But like seriously, for him, like, I'm sure it was severe enough, it was egregious enough that like it has to have affected him monetarily.
I'm sure it did.
And
yeah,
so,
but
like-
that's just normal. Like
Yes, that's
if
how
you
it
do
should be.
something crazy.
Like, you
No,
should
I
have
know, but,
negative
like-
consequences.
But
I
that's
know.
what
Yeah,
that's
he
what
was.
cancel culture is.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It's
like
not, it's
you're just saying he
cancel
wasn't
culture's
not
like,
canceled. He
Yeah.
wasn't 100% not canceled.
Cancel culture is not on off. It's like it's a sliding scale.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Well,
If
and
you-
like it also depends on how good you are at whatever. It's the same reason, like
unfortunately, that's true.
people's. But it's the way
Yeah.
it's the way it's always been. Like
Ray
with
Lewis.
sports or music, like that's why people still listen to Michael Jackson. But
Yeah.
like but even like, I guess you don't like listen to comedy. But
It's not the same.
I don't think anyone would like air a Bill Cosby special on
Yeah,
TV
except
or
my
something
roommate
like that.
in college had had Dane Cook CDs. Like he had the album.
Yeah, but I'm saying you don't listen to it like as it's being broadcast or something. you
Oh,
know?
right. It's not like on the radio.
Your roommate had Dane Cook CDs. Holy crap!
Of course.
So the kids are like, that's all they want to listen to. First of all, they have like very weird taste in music. I took a Bluetooth speaker and would let them play their music through it, and it'd be like a mix of like 80s stuff, or like Sweet Caroline was one of the songs they kept
that
playing.
song's so good.
And
Kids
then
love
they
that
would
song.
and then they would play like Taylor Swift or whatever. So it was all good.
Were they playing
then-
Running Up That Hill?
The main thing they wanted to listen to was comedy, but of course their favorite is Jim Gaffigan, which he's fine.
Yeah,
But he's also-
funny.
Yeah, but he's not like, he relies so heavily on just like funny voices and stuff.
Yeah. It's all about the delivery with
And
him.
even Brian Regan is a little bit that way. I think Brian Regan's jokes are a lot better written than Jim Gaffigan, but they're both because they also were way into Brian Regan. And so I showed some of the kids some Nate Bargatze as we were riding home today, and they didn't like it as much. And it was like, why did I even show this to you?
Nate Bargatze
Kids are
is
so
really funny,
stupid.
but I think he is more like he talks a lot about like what it's like to be someone our age.
Oh, totally.
Like,
yeah, like it's
For
not
us, it's hilarious.
it's not surprising that it's not super relatable, you know.
Yeah,
Like the whole bit about his wife
yeah.
when she's like, when do you leave, and she said in like a half hour, and he's like, I don't even know if you know what an airport is.
Yeah. Or have you heard his bit about he got in a fight with her over the? She kept saying one fell swoop, but
Yes, dude.
she used
So
it wrong.
good.
It's like, that's not one fell swoop. It's very funny. He's a very funny
is.
man.
He is extremely good.
Does he have a new special? I think he has a new special on Netflix.
I don't know. I have to watch it if he does.
You know
He has a
what's funny?
podcast that's really good.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it, but I've heard that it's good.
I just see clips of it and stuff.
Yeah, same. I saw a clip of Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer talking
Mhm.
about how they buy each other like expensive birthday presents.
Yeah, and they keep
And
they
then
keep
they were-
having to go more.
Yeah,
and
but
more
then they were talking
expensive.
about like spending like tens and like hundreds of thousands of dollars on
Yeah.
each other. I'm like, I did not realize how freaking wealthy these people are.
dude.
Yeah.
Well,
Those
especially
two
they
in particular, like
they are
have to-
extremely wealthy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So,
I-
oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I feel the same way when you see some of the things they do.
I
Tom
I don't
Segura's
know-
net worth. What do you think Tom Segura's net worth is? I like looking up net worth. of
is
people.
okay. Tell me this. Can we say who we think is worth more?
Of the two of them?
Yes,
Well, let me look up the other one.
I think it's.
What were you gonna say
Kreischer.
though, Phil?
I was gonna tell us
Are you
some
changing
stuff
subjects? Oh,
about.
okay.
No, I'm
Oh.
gonna say something about Kreischer.
Burnt Chrysler.
Who do you think has the highest of the two
I
of them?
honestly
Bert-
don't even know what either of them is famous for, other than being comedians. Like, I'm trying to think where they would have made millions of dollars. You know,
I guess podcasts like
is that what it
advertising
is?
stuff,
Like,
maybe, but
Well, I'm gonna tell a story after
it has to be
The break.
podcasts.
the break. After a
I
word
like
from
on
our sponsors.
I like on podcasts when they take a break and then just immediately come back. It's like, why do you announce that you're taking a break? Just like edit that out. You have
I think-
professional producers and editors. Like,
No, I think so. Like, there's a podcast I listen to that sometimes has sponsors and
Yeah.
sometimes does not, and so they
Mm.
build
Also, I
it
think-
in.
it depends on
Yeah.
like the medium that you're listening to it on.
yeah, maybe that's true.
They build
Well,
it in. They
what
go.
it-
They go after this, and then it's just like a pause, and then they go. So anyway, blah, 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 and I'm like,
Well,
dude,
part of what it
that's
is, too, is, like,
embarrassing.
A lot of podcatchers do it automatically. Like you will sell ads and it won't go in the recording of the episode.
They'll just put it in the beginning or whatever.
No. I'm saying
Oh.
like if I download an episode that's 2 years old, it will be the current advertiser that they have. and
Oh,
not
right,
the one
right,
they
yes,
had
that's
back
true.
then.
Yeah.
That's
Like
okay.
they're
That's
dynamic ads, and so that's why they
Yeah.
have spots
They-
that are like predetermined
build in
to have
breaks.
ads or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like I listen to the Rewatchables, the Bill Simmons podcast a lot.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, all right, let's take a break and then we'll do that. And then it'll just cut right to it. But then sometimes he like reads ad copy like on the podcast too.
Yeah. Is that because like what are you listening to it on?
I listen to it on Stitcher. Is that what I listen to? Yeah,
And
Stitcher.
you don't have Stitcher Premium or something?
No. But they'll do it like multiple times, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
they're just like gonna go pee or something. I don't know.
It probably is that like sometimes they'll have advertisers and sometimes they
But
won't.
also, but even then, like, why mention it? Just cut to the advertiser. I guess
I
it's
think it's
more
just-
easier transition to
yeah.
the listener if they hear like a, all right, we're gonna take a break, and then it's an ad rather than just like an ad starts in the middle of conversation.
this
This
is really
episode
just
of the
your
Gear
way-
Slum is sponsored. We have no sponsors anymore. We have
Yeah.
Because
Mr.
we're too
Passion
hardcore.
Geek. Yeah, we're punk rock, man.
We canceled all of our
What's
sponsors.
the opposite of selling out? We
by
sold
not having
in.
enough listeners.
We bought in. To our
Yeah,
own
we bought
podcast.
in. What? Okay, Aaron.
Yeah,
Am I right? Bert is his net worth is higher.
I will give you a hint. One of them. I'm looking on the same website
Good.
so that I can get like a comparable number.
Good.
One of them is worth 4 times as much as the other,
Whoa.
Gee.
according to this website.
And it's basically like they know nothing about their actual worth. It's basically like the total
Yeah,
of
yeah.
all of the stuff they know,
Right.
right? Like
Yeah,
they don't know
yeah.
how much money they've spent,
Pretty
obviously,
much,
or
yeah.
whatever. Again, I don't know why either of them are famous. Can either
I
of you
think
tell
I'm
me
right.
other than like neither of them were on like a sitcom or anything, right?
No, that's it. Just comedy and podcasts.
Have they
Nuh-uh.
been podcasting for
Or
a
Bert
long
Kreischer
time?
was on a reality show that he hosted, I think.
Because I feel like
Okay.
the podcast is not that old either.
Well, Tom Segura did Your Mom's House that's been on for a while.
Okay.
Okay, so to answer the question, which one is worth more?
That's what I'm saying. You both think it's Kreischer? I know
I
Phil said.
I don't know. I think it might be Tom Segura. Again, I honestly I'll say Tom Segura just because it's more interesting to choose the other one that Phil chose.
All right. So according to this website,
Tell us one of the numbers first. Oh, that's what we should do. Tell us one of the numbers first, and we'll try to
See which
guess.
is
I mean, we already
more or
guessed.
less.
We'll try to guess if the other one is less or more.
all right. So one of them is 3 million. Do you think the other one is 4 times as much as that, or 1/4 of that?
I feel like it's got to be 4 times because I don't think you could have done the
Yeah.
math to do a fourth
Yeah.
of 3.
It's
You picked the wrong number.
No
Aaron.
offense.
3/4.
So 75,
$750,000.
yeah, 750,000. But still, though, like you wouldn't have seen 3 million and
Yeah,
750,000 and thought one's 4 times the other.
Yeah.
So is Tom Segura worth $12 million?
Tom
then?
Segura, according to this, is 12 million, and Bert Kreischer is
Jeez.
3.
Okay, so here's what I know
Okay,
about
but that
Bert.
Which makes
that
sense.
honestly,
to me. It makes sense that Tom Segura is worth.
but
more.
also like that is not nearly as
it's not
much.
a lot of money.
That is not
Yeah.
enough for them to be spending $1 million on a birthday gift. I mean,
yeah.
part of why they're doing that, they're like creating content, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But they don't talk about it that much. I don't think. I don't know. That whole thing is strange.
Apparently,
maybe
Tom
they're worth
Segura
way
was
more
on
than
a
that.
show called Instant Family, or is that a movie? Maybe a movie.
Okay, here's what I know about Bert. What I know about Bert is that
But Netflix specials, I think you get a lot of money for Netflix specials.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, I could see that. Like if you do one and then they're like, "This, we like this. We need you to do
Yeah.
another one."
They like
then that's
overpay.
Like, boom.
I
yeah.
feel like Netflix is like the new HBO in terms of like high
Yeah.
profile.
Well, and
prestigious
comedians-
comedy specials.
Comedians joke about how they like overpay for their
Yeah,
specials. You
yeah.
know.
So Bert had the show. I'm sure he didn't get paid that much for it, but it was on E. This was back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and it was basically him just going around like just going, ballistic, partying. It was like him visiting every like college party town and then like doing whatever the party, like going to like, okay,
Oh,
everybody says
really?
this is the
Okay.
craziest bar or whatever. So he had a show that, and I'm not saying that made him a lot of money, but that was a long freaking time ago. Like that's how long he's been working. But the
Yeah.
other thing that I
This
think
is who? This is Bert Kreischer you're talking about?
yes, the other thing that is more interesting, Aaron, fact check me on this. I heard somewhere that the Ryan Reynolds, one of his first movies, Van Wilder, that's what it's called.
Okay. Yeah.
That it is based on
Oh yeah.
his Bert's. It's based on his life.
Yeah, I've heard that too. I think he's told that story.
Now I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Because
he like.
had he's told like, wow, what's the thing that Ari Shafir hosts? It's like a stand-up. It's like a series, and people get up and tell stories, kind of like The Moth. But he talked about how he was like known as he would travel all around, and he was known as the #1 partier or whatever in the world.
Well, and he's
He has,
got
like,
his
this
like
crazy story where he went to Russia and all
the
this
Russian
stuff.
story. Yes.
Yeah. But that was
Ugh.
on. He told that on. What's that show that Ari Shafir does?
I don't know.
Dang.
That story is
Anyways,
so good and so insane.
it's nuts, dude. And it's like he could so easily be dead.
Yes.
So here,
Oh, this is not happening. That's what the show is called.
many of the story elements in Van Wilder came from a Rolling Stone article called "The Undergraduate" about the college career of comedian Burt Kreischer, which was optioned by director and producer. Guess who? Oliver Stone.
No. No.
This film is based on the real life experiences
What?
of comedian Burt Kreischer.
So does that mean he gets royalties for it? I wonder.
He must have. They must have like.
I
paid
mean,
him
that
for
movie-
it. He had to sell it back.
There's no way that movie made money. Like, I mean, lots of money. But
Yeah, maybe not.
again,
Oh, the
that
first
was like
thing.
that was a long freaking time ago.
Yeah, 2002. That movie.
Dude, that's
Whoa. So this just got a little bit darker, but I Googled does Burt Kreischer get royalties for, and it automatically filled in Ari Shafir, and the first thing at the top says a Reddit article that says Burt Kreischer talks about being drugged and raped by Ari Shafir. Like, ooh.
Oh my gosh.
So this took a dark turn, but let's see if he gets royalties from
What?
Van Wilder.
So Van Wilder cost $5 million to make. That was the budget, and it brought in at the box office $38.3 million. And
Oh,
you
it
know
says-
it's did way more on like DVD.
It says he
'Cause
did.
That was a
Yeah,
big
because
college
especially
like movie.
that was like the heyday of the unrated DVD too.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they definitely had an unrated one. I'm sure. It says he doesn't make any money from that movie though.
Well, because he's like the guy that Top Gun was written about. He doesn't get it. Only the guy who wrote Top Gun gets the money.
Yeah.
for it.
yeah, which is kind of lame. I mean,
Yeah, I mean that's what you get.
Yeah,
You
it's
get
like
what
how
you
Hitler
get.
didn't get any money for Schindler's List. You know.
oh my gosh.
I don't even think Schindler got any money for Schindler.
Exactly, dude. Schindler's like, guys.
Poor Oscar over here is just like losing money left and right.
Jeez. I think
Um,
this whole thing is a joke, though. The thing about Ari Shafir, it must be like a
It's
tongue-in-cheek thing or
hilarious.
something.
Yeah, hilarious.
Ugh.
So I heard, and this is kind of, I mean, it's not off topic. It's perfectly reasonable to the way we normally change subjects. But the movie Van Wilder, some people say that that is a prequel to Deadpool.
I haven't seen Deadpool. Is that
It's
Dude,
pretty good.
It's
is that
so
embarrassing?
It is.
I just
It's
spilled
not
water
embarrassing.
on my
Is there too
laptop
much?
keyboard.
Is there too much effing and jeffing though, as they say?
I don't know what that means.
No.
but- no, there's not like any like nudity or sexual stuff in it. It's just a lot of
No,
there is. No,
that's
there
like-
totally is. There
That's
very
like
much
just saying
is.
bad words.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's
I don't
it's
know.
mostly just like him saying the most foul things that you can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like very over the top,
So Aaron, you didn't have
and
that-
it's like
you,
crude. It just doesn't show nudity, but it's
Right.
extremely crude the whole time, right?
and super violent. But like
yeah.
you know. Aaron, I said
Yes.
while you took your headphones off for a second that
Yeah.
I think I heard somewhere somebody making one of those YouTube video essays of
Uh-huh.
making the claim that Van Wilder is a prequel to Deadpool.
Oh, that's funny.
That Ryan Reynolds' character, goes from
I got it.
okay.
From Van Wilder to Deadpool.
No. Yes.
Like how else would it work? How else would
That is-
that series work?
He's time traveling, Aaron. After Deadpool, he goes back in time.
Oh, he does a Rodney Dangerfield and goes back to school.
Yes, and lives a normal life as a
Oh.
college student.
Okay. But all shot up and like
Yeah, melted face.
yeah.
He somehow
Just
gets
completely
reconstructive
destroyed.
surgery.
Man, I was busy cleaning up a mess from when I drunkenly spilled water on my laptop keyboard.
Just now?
Yeah, yeah. During the Van Wilder Deadpool scenario,
Yeah.
I say drunken. I would. That's a bit of an overstatement.
You sound fine.
Buzzed. Man, this episode has been good. Is it time to end?
good.
I don't know.
Has been good? Question mark.
I was gonna say it's been good. I mean, it has been good. I just don't know if it's time to end, but I think we should end and start a new one. I think the second one will be even more fun.
Will the episode be better? Question mark.
It will be better. Well, you
Better?
can't.
Find out
You
next
ask a
week.
question, so you ask the question and then like emphasize it as a question, but it is a question, so it should sound like a question. So what you really should have said is the next episode will be better.
Will this episode be good?
That's even more fun. It's like making
Saying
questions sound like
questions.
statements.
Statements.
Will this episode be good?
Stupid.
Will this episode be good?
Dorks.
Well, thanks for
And
friendship.
it will? Thanks for friendship.
Thanks for friendship.
Oh,
Thanks.
thanks for friendship.
Thanks.
Slow.